Hello, everyone. Welcome to our live. My name is David Cantu, and today I will share with you all how I earned a full ride scholarship to go to college. All right. Before we begin, I'd like to share the slides with you that we'll be presenting today. We are live on both Facebook and on YouTube. These three strategies help me not only get accepted into top tier universities, but also win scholarship packages of up to $50,000 per year. Now, these strategies, you will be able to implement them immediately with your students. So before we start, let me know in the chat where you are joining us from. And that way, this will be a more interactive stream. We are live every Monday at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook and on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe, follow us on Facebook if you have a Facebook, and also go to Best College Shade USA on both Instagram and TikTok because we are also live there tomorrow, Tuesday at the same time, and we post a lot of valuable content that will be able to help you all, maximize your students' chances of acceptance and scholarship packages. All right, so let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from, and we'll start in 5 minutes with the slides that I shared with you all. For those of you who are just joining in, we will be talking about the three strategies that helped me win a full ride scholarship. All right, so I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope that this Monday in the middle of summer is going well for you all, and that if you have any questions relating to the scholarships admissions process, well, you can also let me know here in the chat. We will answer some questions at the end. And also like to share with you that if you have not done so already, we do have a free webinar with more information on 6 steps to go to college with scholarships. On this webinar, we explain more strategies than the ones I will explain today. So after watching this training, if you feel like you need more information, make sure to check out the link below this video so that you can learn more. All right. So that is my invitation to you all. I would like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video and the sponsor of basically everything that we do here at Best College Aid, which is Best College Aid, our online membership and premium product where we help families not only understand the college admissions and scholarship process, but we also help students create a plan on time so that they can maximize their acceptance into top tier schools with scholarships. Right? With Best College Aid, we've helped thousands of families in the US maximize their odds of acceptance, getting to top tier schools like NYU, Emory, UPenn, UF, thousands or hundreds of schools. Rather, we've helped thousands of students. So if you like to learn more, again, at the end of this webinar, check out this training so that you can learn how we can help you as well. All right, Laura will be in the chat answering some questions, helping me moderate the comment section. And you can also see the link to this webinar there. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to take a moment to start with the presentation that we created for you all today. 3 strategies that helped me win a full ride scholarships, things that my parents and I did when we were in high school that you can also implement with your own students, with your own family. So let's get started with the presentation. All right. Let us know where you're joining from. And let's start with the problem rather. So a lot of students do not know this until they are actually in college. A lot of parents don't understand this until they have to pay the bill. But the cost of attendance for Harvard, and I took this screenshot yesterday, is $82,950. That's what you could be paying for a year, or it could be more, around $87,000, without including the health insurance plan that it's required, and it goes for around $4,000. So as you can see, the cost of attendance for Harvard, one of the 8 Ivy Leagues in the country, is around $90,000 per year. And that's not just Harvard. It's also has a very expensive price. Emory, I think, is at $81,000. So you will see eventually schools become more and more expensive. This has to do with a lot of reasons, primarily that the funds that the schools have or what they give out in financial aid through the federal government or through endowments, it's also going to go up. So they have that leeway to charge families more. And that is why you need to be informed and you need to understand how to reduce the chances of going into student debt to cover these costs, right? And don't be intimidated. A lot of these schools tend to be very generous. So it is about knowing which school is right for your student, both academically and extracurricularly, if that's even a word, and also financially, right? You want to apply to schools that satisfy your family's financial needs, right? And we'll talk about this in more depth later on. Let's now go into the first strategy that helped me win over $50,000 per year on both merit and need based scholarships to my universities, right? And that is that I took advanced level classes. All right. These advanced level classes help me maximize the chances of acceptance. And they also help me, and it's not written there, but it also helped me understand what it is that I wanted to major in, right? I took AP macroeconomics, I took AP psychology, AP European history, but I knew that after taking those advanced level classes, I wanted to do something with business, with finance. So AP Macro helped me discover what I wanted to major. Now, on the other hand, and it's also the point of this presentation, is that I won an academic scholarship of $11,000 per year. That's $44,000 in 4 years through academic merit-based scholarships, right? So if your student is interested in an advanced level class, I suggest he or she talks to a professor at the high school, the guidance counselor, look at options because these classes can help the student, again, maximize their odds of acceptance into top tier schools, help them decide what it is that they want to major in, and also potentially give them merit-based or academic merit-based scholarships, right? We have students in Best College Aid who have won full ride scholarships to other schools like Emory, NYU, and a lot of their financial aid packages include a $20,000, $15,000 academic scholarship per year. That's one advice that I suggest you all take note of. And especially now that we're right before we start the school year, you want to make sure that your student is going to take the right classes next fall or the year after this one that is about to come up, right? So that's the first strategy that helped me win a full ride scholarship, and something that my parents were also encouraging me throughout the years. They said, "Hey, David, don't just take regular level courses. Don't just take honor level courses, because as you know, or maybe you don't know, but in high schools, in most high schools, whether it's a public high school, a private high school, there are at the same time, simultaneously, in my mind, running three different types of high schools, right? There's the students who are taking regular level courses. That's one high school. There's a mix of students who are taking honors and regular level courses. That's another high school, right? And then there's the students who are taking advanced level college courses with a mix of honors classes and practically no regular courses unless it's PE, which is physical education. But yeah, there's three high schools running at the same time, and it's all about knowing which classes to take so that your student can maximize their odds of acceptance and scholarship packages, right? That's what we teach here inside Best College Aid. And a piece of advice that not only helped me and my family win over $500,000 in aid and scholarships, but also thousands of our members inside our Best College Aid course, right? The second strategy, and something that I also encourage you all to implement with your own students, is to continue your athletic careers, or not to discourage anyone who doesn't have an extracurricular or doesn't have an athletic sport, rather. Uh, Encourage your child to continue their extracurricular activities. All right. So I was accepted into colleges, into the colleges that accepted me for the most part included a swimming program. All right. So I want to say that out of the 12, 15 schools that I applied to, 9 out of those 12 or 13 out of those 15, I don't remember exactly the number, accepted me those that accepted me had a swimming program. So that was because I had contacted the coaches. I wanted to continue this extracurricular activity through my college years, and this made me a better candidate for those schools in my list. Now, also another advantage of continuing my athletic career was that I won an athletic swimming scholarship of $8,000 per year. That's $32,000 in 4 years, on top of the other $44,000 in academic scholarships. So, right off the bat, I already had $76,000 in academic and athletic need based aid that had nothing to do with my parents' finances. So, that is one piece of advice that I encourage you all to implement. And also remember that this applies to any extracurricular activity. So I was speaking to one of our students earlier, a Best College Aid member who won a Questbridge scholarship. But what made him stand out was that he was very passionate about music. He had been playing instruments or musical instruments since he was a kid, and that helped him win, not only get accepted, but also win scholarships, right? So that applies to any extracurricular, whether it's performing arts, sports, or any activity that it's done outside of the traditional classroom. Well, that is an extracurricular activity, right? Volunteering, community service, starting your own business. So that is one, or a second strategy out of those three strategies that I'm sharing with you all today that you can implement today. All right. Now, so something important, and this is a third strategy, is that my parents and I, when I was in high school, we looked for guidance, we looked for assistance, and that is why my parents knew that if you look at the student to counselor ratio at the national level in the US, there is about on average 450 students, and there's only one guidance counselor that can help the students navigate through the admissions, scholarship, and other emotional problems as well. Some of these counselors are not equipped with college advising and knowledge on the admissions process. So, as you can see, and that is why I ask you all to let me know in the chat where you are joining from. If you look at, for example, my state here in Florida, there's on average 554, or there were on average 554 students per counselors on the year 2016. According to this study, you can look at salud-america.org or score on not underscore. I forget what the other one is, but there's a source. You can look it up. And if you look at other states, for example, New York, where I went to school, there were in 2019 357 students per one counselor, and only three states in the US actually were under the required or the recommended 250 students per one counselor ratio, right? You can see the recommended there on the bottom left corner, and the national average back then was 441. Now it's higher. So if you're watching this in the future, this replay, well, the number is probably worse now. That is why it's important that you understand that when it comes to the college admissions and scholarship process, you have to look for guidance. You have to look at expert advice, because year after year, after helping families for over now 5 years, 5 year almost in Best College Aid, we know that those who look for help and those who start a process earlier tend to get accepted into the best schools with the most scholarships. All right. So that was pretty much everything that I had for you today on the three strategies that helped me win a full ride scholarships. I know that you may have questions. That is why we created a free webinar on the 6 steps to go to college with scholarships. If you want to learn more tips and strategies that can help you maximize your odds of acceptance and scholarship process, the only thing you have to do, and I'll share the screen real quick, is if you're on YouTube, go to the description. If you're on your phone, simply click on the title. That should open this description menu. Click the only link that appears there, and that will take you to the sign up page where you will be able to put in your first name, your email address, your phone number, so that we can text you and email you the logging link, or not the logging link, the watch room link, so that you can watch the webinar, see some testimonials, and more information on what you will learn here on this webinar. And so that's all for all of you who have questions, who want to learn more. It is free, and you will learn more in those 30 minutes than you will on the 4 years of meetings with your high school college counselor. That's something that we've been told. So I hope that it is of value to you. All right. So that was it for the presentation. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to Best College Aid. Also, feel free to follow us on our social media, Best College Aid USA, on TikTok and on Instagram, so that you can stay up to date with everything that we post. I also want to remind you that at the end of that training, the one that I shared with you all, we do talk in more depth about how we can help you in a more personalized way, and what the Best College Aid membership includes after delivering a lot of value that you will start to implement today, right? A lot of strategies that you will start to implement today. Now, if you have any questions in that training, we will address a lot of these questions. But for the sake of providing you value right now, let's look at some of the questions that we had here in the chat. Ideba is saying hello. Hello, thank you for joining us. Chris also says hello. Thank you for joining, Chris. And you're asking if an international student can earn a full ride scholarship. International students can earn full ride scholarships. However, the schools that offer need-based and merit-based aid to international students tend to be very selective and very competitive. An example could be Harvard, like I showed here on the screenshot. Harvard can help international students. You should go on their website to learn more. But these schools, as you know, have very low acceptance rates. So my best advice is that, watch the training. The strategies here can apply to you as well. But also go on the school's websites and look at what they require for international students. All right. Great question. And if there's any other question, we will address it on this free webinar, link in the description. And if you don't have any questions, because I don't see any more questions here in the chat, we can call it early. So again, thanks for joining. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, thank you for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We'll be there live tomorrow. And that was it. Have a good one.